Chair recognizes Mr. Donalds from Florida for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really want to get off the last line of questioning and focus in. We have a problem that's pretty clear and apparent. There is obstruction coming out of the State Department and USAID. Mr. Sopko, in your letter and in your testimony, it has been very clear that this administration has unilaterally stopped all of your ability to get the information that Congress has authorized you to collect. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, in your letter you state, 3 prior administrations understood and abided by these legal certainties. It is shocking that state and USAID officials are choosing at this particular juncture to violate the law, obstruct SIGAR's oversight work, and refuse to cooperate with our oversight requests. Mr. Sopko, how many oversight requests has SIGAR made of the Department of State under Tony Blinken and USAID?
I don't have the exact number in front of me, sir, but I did promise another congressman, and I promised the chairman and ranker we would give a list of all of that. I mean, it goes back to the simplest thing, sir, and I don't want to take your time, but sure. We asked for the Doha Agreement back in 2021, copies of and access to the documents related to the Doha Agreement, sent multiple letters. We still haven't even gotten a response from that. So it's as simple as that.
Mr. Sopko, and not to cut you off, but to me, it sounds like you're a Republican member of Congress, because Republican members of Congress send letters over to the administration, and we don't get answers either. So this is actually a consistent pattern. Ms. Shaw, you're the IG over at the Department of State. Are you aware of the obstruction from Department of State employees towards this Inspector General over Afghanistan?
So I've read Mr. Sopko's testimony. I can say for our part that we have not experienced the same sort of
No. I'm not asking about if you, as an Inspector General, with your role of having oversight over state. I'm talking about, are you aware of State Department employees willfully ignoring and obstructing the investigations that are lawfully authorized by Congress from SIGAR, Mr. Sopko's office? Or are you aware of State Department employees ignoring and obstructing his investigations?
I'm aware of Mr. Sopko's statements, yes.
Ms. Angarella, I got it. Ms. Angarella, you're the IG over USAID.
I'm acting in that role, yes.
Acting.
Yep.
Similar line of question. Are you aware of USAID employees willfully obstructing SIGAR's ability to conduct congressional oversight, which is their legal mandate?
I would say the same as Ms. Shaw. I'm aware of IG Sopko's letter. I would say we have not had any access issues, and I would say further that I'm happy to partner with any oversight IG to do joint work or get access to any documents or people at USAID and assist in that matter.
Well, I guess here's the question. Ms. Shaw, you don't have a problem. Ms. Angalera, you don't have a problem. What's the problem with Mr. Sopko? What's his problem? Like, why is it that he's being blocked from doing the thing that he was legally charged by this Congress and previous Congresses, mind you? Not just the 118th, the 117th, the 116th, the 115th have all given him authority to conduct oversight, and state and USAID are blocking him. Is anybody at the table aware of the president's thought process when it comes to inspector generals? I mean, has the president put out a statement that he doesn't want his administration to comply with the requests from inspector generals? Anybody? Has the president made that statement?
My experience, sir, is that most presidents don't like to talk to inspectors general in both parties. As I joke about, I work for one person and one person only, and that person never wants to see me, and I think it's just they avoid talking to IGs. Now, we have talked to senior officials at state and aid and DOD over the years, not since this administration, but we used to brief on a regular basis the administrator of USAID, senior officials at state, senior officials at DOD, including the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. But since this administration come in, it's been radio silence with us.
So, Mr. Sopko, look, I'm going to end my line of question with you because I actually read one of the SIGAR classified reports right after the fall of Afghanistan. It was quite eye-opening, to be frank. about your capabilities of your team to get information about what was actually going to happen in Afghanistan. I would urge my colleagues to go back and read some of those classified reports on what was going on in the ground in Afghanistan, because it is revealing. Because Mr. Sacco, I'll let you answer, but it was pretty clear to me, anybody who read this report could see that Afghanistan will fall pretty quickly. Your reports, or your department's reports, were they transmitted to the White House prior to the fall of Afghanistan?
All of our classified reports, actually all of our reports, are provided to all agencies. The classified ones are obviously not put on the website, but we definitely provided those, and we provided it to all the intelligence communities. Let me just add one thing about those classified reports that you should also know. At the request of this committee and other committees, we requested DOD, state, and aid to declassify all of those reports, many of them going back 12 years. We still have heard nothing back from those agencies. And I see Congressman Lynch is here. I believe he was fighting to get those reports and that information declassified. Many of those reports were classified because we had a general tell us, because President Ghani was embarrassed if they were released. Now, there is no President Ghani anymore, but still the DOD, state, and aid will not declassify. I have no declassification authority as a SIGAR. I have to rely on the agencies. You have to rely on the agencies. And we're still waiting for like 12 years of reports to be declassified, many of them just because they embarrassed President Ghani, who is no longer president of Afghanistan. So I may sound a little upset. I think you should be upset. This is ridiculous.
Well, I share your concerns. I think those reports should be declassified, especially considering the fact that we got gold bullion moving all over the place. We got billions of dollars going into Afghanistan, not getting to the people. I mean, we should have all that information. The American people should have it as well. I apologize, Mr. Chairman, I yield.